James Braga here from DragonBlogger.com. Today I have a little walkthrough of how to install a fan into your InWin 707 case. Now this is kind of a dual little walkthrough since I will be reviewing the 1stPlayer fans and the 707 case for you guys, but I want to show you how to connect the fans into your case. The best part is the InWin 707 case can fit 3 fans up top. You can fit one on the side. It already has one pre-installed in the back, 240s in the front. I believe you can connect a third if you do not want to run your HD drives. You can connect a third, or even set up a liquid cooling in the front. And inside there's another little place to set another fan in the bottom by your PSU. But first, as you know, I did an unboxing of the InWin fan. This is their 120mm FireRose. Nice little fan. You know, it is not marked on which direction your fan blows, but if you know that the label here means it blows forward, it means the water sucks in. So I'll be setting it in like this with the label down to blow more air inside, I believe. But we'll get into that more in a few. You know, these are 3-pin connectors. It does come with a 3-pin to 4-pin Molex if you guys need that. I won't be using it. It won't be needed. They do come with, either your rubber grommet style screws, so you don't have to screw it in. I'm sorry if it's a little blurry. It's a little, new camera, still getting used to this. Or they give you the 4 regular metal screws. So you have everything in there that you really need. I will set all this aside. Now, just in case your screws don't fit into the top of this case, I'll show you the top in a few. InWin throws in 12 screws for the fans, or your liquid cooling if you're going to throw a liquid cooling radiator up in there. It has a little offset in here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it that well, but there's an offset on the screw so it sits down a little deeper, which is great. Now, I'm going to move the fans aside for a second for you guys so you guys can see a little bit of where I'm actually going to mount these 3. I'm mounting these 3 up here. There are, 12 holes for each thing up around the side. But you have the option, I will try to pick this beast up again because it is rather large case, that you can do this, either stick a 140 or 120. Like I said, I have 120s. If I had 140s, I'd be throwing 140s in here. You actually have the option of connecting a fan to this side, which gives you more cooling. Great option. I love that option from InWin. This case is, is the full tower. Like I said, it has one pre-installed 140mm fan. This is red LED. I have a blue setup theme, but just for this, since the wife is actually getting this PC, I may just not even deal with the theme at this point. So now I'm going to take the case off, the side panel for you guys, and show you a little more. As you can see, they're thumb tight because they're thumb screws. You don't really need to over tighten these. If you do, you can actually mess up your screws. You got your side panel. The plastic on this panel does come off if you want to leave it off. Now, like I said, you can connect up fans up top or liquid cooling. You can do the same down here. Best option is you actually can take out your HD drives for your hard drives. It unscrews. You can unmount it. You can even stick a radiator down there. Great option. It has 2 100mm fans right here installed. So you already have that option. I want to make sure this runs cool because of where my wife sets her computer. It has a little heating issues, but not a big problem. Now, if you give me a second, I'll find a screwdriver, I'll get the fans out of the boxes and show you guys how to screw this in. Okay, now that I have all these unboxed, I'm actually going to use the screws from InWin just because they fit their grommets better. If you want, you don't have to use it. I'm gonna. Now this 1stPlayer fans have a rubber wrap around it to keep it from vibrating and anti-knocking. As you can see, I'm just going to set them up in here and screw them down from the top. I'm actually going to move the camera up on this table and have it facing down. So hopefully you guys can see me actually screw it in or see how it connects. Then you guys get a little more of a look of how to install it if you want. So if you give me a second, I'll switch. Okay, now that I switch views, you guys get a little better look. The fans are going to go up right up in here. Usually where liquid cooling radiator would go or something, but I'm just going to use fans because I really don't overclock that far for my wife. So this should do fine. So now let me grab a screw and show you guys how it goes in the hole. Pretty much you just stick the screw in here. You know, screw in there. That fits right in the grommets. You know, take your Phillips screwdriver. Try to line these up. You know, and then screw it together. Same with all four corners. So there's one fan in. I'm not going to bore you with all three. I'm going to do it real quick and then I'll flip back on so you guys can see that, how they're connected up. Okay, now that you can see I have them connected in, they're installed. Each one has 4 screws. Now I'm going to tell you now that connecting them in this case, this InWin 707 case, with these certain fans was a little tight fitting, and the reason for that being is these fans have that rubber surround, or rubber gasket I would call it, all the way around the fan, which made the little gap you had here to fit them between really tight. Now it does fit, it fits fine. It just I had to take them out and go in a certain order, so I suggest going from the front fan to the back, or to the back to the front. Don't go, you know, front, back, and then the middle, because you're gonna run into an issue. Also, make sure the wires are facing towards the back, the back side of the case, or I should say the opposite side panel of the non-windowed side. Let me zoom out some. So, as you can see, this is the non-windowed side, so make sure your wires are going this way, because if you have one going this way or that way, then you have the wires touching. You will not have enough space to fit it. Now, if you let me switch views again, I will show you the inside of the case where the fans are fitting in here, and I'll actually show you, you know, the little grommet you should probably stick your whole wire through. But I ain't going to show you how to really do that yet, because I still haven't actually swapped the components into this, and I will be doing that on video also, I think, or at least all the way through the written review. So if you, okay, now that I actually have it laid on its side, you guys can see how they fit in here, and I mean, they are literally rubbing really tight. And that's because of the gasket. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Won't know until I get to fire them up to see if they're going to interfere with anything. But up here on these cases, like this, I will be running the wire through this hole to hide it into the back, and then I'll run it and hide it. Probably the same with this one, and this one I'll probably run up to the hole over here if I can. There's a few options. I'm not sure if you guys can see that where I was pointing up there, but if I flip the case a little, you can see up here, there's a hole where the rest of these wires are in, and I'll probably stick it through there and then bring it back up and around. Or, you know, I'll figure ways to wire it. That'll be in the more of the written review, but I thank you for watching my little walkthrough of how to install how to install the FireRose 1stPlayer fans into the InWin 707 case. So if you keep your eyes out on DragonBlogger.com, there'll be more to come. Thank you.